neck. Just a bad frame. It's like those in-between frames in an anime where it looks all fucked up, but it's like his whole body. Is the Reset Yolo, Balin, Randella, Fiddlesy, Reset Easy, Dave, Startled, Jared. Do you think the guys paying for this think it's a joke? I think there's a good balance of people who pay for it, like ironically, like Mario Hustlers University, and people who actually believe it. And I think the believers probably outweigh the former. Which is sad, but it is what it is. It's the same for every other alpha male we ever looked at. You remember the guy who's a self-admitted cuck? What was his name?
Today I'll get...
It's only been a couple months. It's the big guy. He sells the course on like, so your wife doesn't want to fuck you? That's okay. No, I'm talking about alpha male, bro. It's a Jack Murphy. It might be Jack Murphy. Oh yeah, Jack Murphy, right? This guy's, he's literally a cuck. But he's also an alpha male. So he's teaching you how to be an alpha male while also being a cuck. It's this guy, right? A lot of these guys have the same, like, Baldwin. Is it this guy? I don't want to slander Jack Murphy if it's not Jack Murphy. But it's one of them. It's literally the first thing. His meltdown? Was his meltdown about people calling him a cunt? Because this is just a podcast talking about it. Like I see it in the thumbnail, but this is just a podcast talking about it. I guess it's probably this guy then.
Don't come at me and call me sexist or racist or any of these things. I hate everyone. I don't care if you're black, white, straight, gay, man, or woman. I hate you anyway. Do know how to administer CPR. However, I will not administer CPR unless you're a hot human. You're some fat dude. You just had a heart attack. I don't really know you.
Is that a lady killing you? Back in here at your phone? What are you doing? Let's 4 hours straight.
I don't know.
You guys... People are starting to realize the only real thing separates you have to make it much more effective, you can make it dangerous. Done. And that way, it's got more in common with someone like Alex Jones.
We're gonna beat your ass! You just get that through your stinking traitors' heads!
That's a good
Because
comparison.
someone like Dan Block or Frank Cardone. Both Jones and Diaz operate sort of on this playbook where entertainment is key. They say a bunch of outlandish statements that build tension, and then once they're the crazy guy, all they have to do is say a few basic things that everyone agrees with, and then their audience suddenly thinks they're a genius. I mean,
that works for everything, by the way, not just people. This is the same thing with QAnon. Like, QAnon has the wildest shit, like believing JFK Jr. got revived and is still any day now going to cruise around some random corner in fucking Washington and announce his presidency. The reason they have so many people is, well, I guess the big reason is everyone wants to believe something that makes them feel special. But another thing is they also then put in some things that are true. Like, there's a lot of pedophiles in Hollywood. It's like, oh, well, it turns out there are a lot of pedophiles in Hollywood. I guess QAnon's right about everything else. It just becomes like a gateway. So you sprinkle in like little truths for the lunacy, and then you get people to buy into it. So it's not, it works for more than just like individuals. Everyone knows who Q is, right? I mean, I've heard so many people. Is it one of like the Clintons or something? I don't remember. There's so many theories on who Q is. It could be fucking anyone. I think it's Tier 1 Meat, Tier 1 Slurpee, and then Tier 2 Body. Hey,
fix everything. Alex is right about far more than wrong. In reality, Alex Jones is predicting everything sort of all the time. So of course he's going to be right some of the time. And it's sort of the same with Payne. He says so much. Like in one segment, he'll say something outlandish, like men should be able to cheat on women, but it doesn't work the other way around because that's disgusting.
Let's not pretend that male loyalty is female loyalty.
Loyalty is loyalty.
But not the same thing, however, I would not see Machiavelli nearly anywhere near even 1% as disgusting as female.
And he knows that's going to get him clicks and piss people off. But then we'll say, in the segment right after, I believe in true love between a man and a woman. I believe there should be more love.
I think relationships are a beautiful thing. I think that the synergy between them and women are correctly collaborated. I think that that's what makes society function and that's what makes the world function. And men and women fall in love and have children and
That does me.
Who doesn't agree with that? Talk about men, talk about how lonely.
Yeah, sad.
absolutely not.
The whole most men not being invisible, not invisible, big feel invisible. That's everything. That's a really big platform for Alpha. I see that shit all the time. I think Ego's just big on like all big feel invisible now. Like that shit is all over the place. So like all of them kind of regurgitate the same points because it's really effective. He's a tier 1 king, recent chef, Raphael, and Full Metal.
This is the truth about masculinity, right? It's very easy for women to sit here and complain about the top 2% of men. I know that this guy is arrogant, blah, 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 blah. Most men don't even exist. They send 10,000 DMs and never even get read, let alone replied to.
And so this makes it so that many people who are trying to say, Andrew's just crazy, they don't see the full con that he's running, because the crazy is only half of the game. Eventually, people hear the other half, the basic stuff. It's obvious. They go, well,
that's just tough love.
Yeah. And people just eventually kind of go down the Tate rabbit hole and think, maybe I can leave the Matrix and get girls, jets, and Bugattis. Maybe I just need to become financially free. How do I do it? Who's looking out?
Hustler University.
Where Hustleversity.
Mm-hmm.
And look, I know we just covered a lot, right? But to understand this next part, to understand Hustleversity, it requires a deep understanding of Andrew Tate's appeal. So we can see why Hustleversity is, on the one hand, so popular, despite being so bad. Because otherwise, this whole video is anticlimactic and confusing. Because when I first joined Hustleversity, I thought it's gotta be different, right? To have this many people paying every month.
Yeah, it's marketing.
You
did a good
job
job
of
of it.
things that you just can't learn for free, right? Once again, I'm disappointed. Because I joined this month and I've been going through the classes, which is basically all of the same boring topics all of these guys teach about making money. It's all the most surface level stuff. He assigns a so-called professor to each skill, and all of this all takes place inside of Discord servers. And in these chat rooms where your instructors have a fraction of the charisma.
You're paying $50 a month for a fucking Discord. No. I had no idea. I thought it was going to be like actual courses, like a master class or something. Even Ninja put more effort into his fucking tutorials. You're paying $50 a month for a Discord. Holy shit, that's worse than being a Discord mod. That's literally being, you are paying to be an actual, like, shit stain on a piece of toilet paper. Oh my god. That's a lot worse than I thought. $50 a month for a Discord channel. That is pay piggy stuff. That is like actual pay piggy stuff. No, it's not. No, it's not what? No, it's not just Discord, or no, it's not pay piggy. Oh, you just said I'm the cop. No, it's not. I don't even know if that was to me. Now I'm getting lost. It's the resub Tristan and the Prime static. You said that it fits donkey. That was...
Hey,
Well, there's a difference between being desperate and being manipulative. Well, 100% manipulating desperate guys. There's no different tiers of desperation. There's self-aware desperate people and people who get brainwashed because they're desperate, I would say. Like, you have to be on a different wavelength for all for a $50 Discord. $50 a month Discord. Like, not like a desperate guy is going to be, scratching his back to be part of the upper university.
You're supposed to commit yourself to these skill sets, which are super surface level because, of course, this all appeals to the lowest common denominator men who think answers can come from TikTok videos. And this is where it starts to hit you. Scrolling through Discord threads, that this kind of was all a big bait and switch. And think about it. You just told you're going to escape the Matrix. You're going to take the red pill.
And you go to
What
Discord.
you're doing in this course is sort of learning how to run an Amazon side hustle for Jeff Bezos. Like, no offense, you're not breaking the Matrix. You work for the richest guy in the world. Like, imagine Morpheus gives Neo the red pill and says, hey, have you ever day traded before? It doesn't stop there either. Like, you've been told you're going to be rich, right? But Hustlers University sort of changes the rules and definitions once you're inside. Like, they have this cash quadrant of time and cash, where you're either time poor or cash poor, time rich, cash poor, cash rich, time. You get the idea. And what they define cash rich as is very telling. They define it as having $5,000, which by that definition, guys, I'm proud to say, I'm cash rich. Now, guys,
Wait, like in total? That is so different from the pitch. I imagine most dudes who buy into this have to have $5,000 total. It's $50 a month. That is such an expensive item. So who? What? This makes no sense. That's the Brian Kaz that you said earlier. I'm a bit salty. Yusuf Tan and Dan Decker Fish. Okay, yeah, I guess that's super surprising to me.
Now, guys, look, having $5,000 is great. But Jimmy, right? The lifestyle we've been sold on here is exotic Bugatti, not extra Starbucks Biscotti. I mean, am I crazy here? Like, I feel like most people who joined this Discord
That's what I
are
just said.
Olive Lamborghinis, and they're sort of getting Olive Garden fettuccine. And this weird disconnect is everywhere. Andrew Tate is practically screaming how great Hustlers University is. On one hand,
Hustlers University is the greatest thing that exists.
That's a good point. I didn't think of that. It's low because he wants people to feel like alphas. That's a really good point. I suppose that's probably like the play. Maybe you get someone who's a little skeptical, like, I'll do $50 1 month and I'll probably cancel. But they join, and they're like, oh, I have $5,000. Okay, so I'm cash rich. And I'm surrounded by a supportive community. Okay, well now I feel like I'm part of the crew, part of the ship. So then they stay. Maybe that could be the play, I guess. So then they're not even there for the information, they're there more for the community and the field. I mean that's super possible. Which is even sadder, to be honest. Yeah, because you can get that same feeling for free. Like, there's always going to be a community of people just like you. Like, you're not special. Whatever your interests are, you're going to find a million people with those interests, and you guys can be friends. Like, and it's free. Like, to find them. You don't have to pay $50 a month for friends. At that point, join a frat. Well, I mean, even then, it's cheaper, I think, depending on the frat. Frats 12K. Frat is 12K a semester. What fucking frat did you rush? 12K a semester? What the fuck? My friends are only paying like shit. Probably not even 50 a month. I forgot what frat they were in though. It's probably a shitty one, I guess. That's the normal rate, my god. You pay for frats? Yeah, they have dues.
Face of the planet, the people who are trying to escape the Matrix.
And yet, if you look at their own success screenshots that they provide, their students are getting at best like very part-time income, like their screenshots of $400 a month, maybe $2,000 a month. And those are the examples.
I mean, that's pretty good. Like, at least he's seeing some kind of moderate, like, success from this. It's not Bugatti level wealth or anything, but at the very least, this guy's got something working. So, he got his money's worth. I think the people that are getting the 400 to 500, depending on how many hours they spend, I guess it's not the worst thing in the world, but if they're trying to do this like a full-time thing, this is not livable. For $50 a month, that is not a good return.
They chose, which I'm not knocking the people who are doing this, like, good for them. But
well, I'm assuming the 2K a month isn't his only source. I imagine, I would pray that they're not committing their whole life to these courses and making it like a career. I would imagine that's 2K on the side of whatever they're doing.
Unless you consider being cash rich, having $5,000 total in your bank account, then this course doesn't seem to be